Good morning. Welcome to, is it Tuesday? What day is it today? Is it Tuesday? Gosh, Tuesday morning. How do I look this morning? Do I look any thinner? I walked 3 miles yesterday. Just say yes. Just say, Tim, you look like you lost 50 pounds. I just, you ever get to a point where you've had enough on so many levels, right? And I just like, you know what? Just, I keep thinking to myself, I just need to start walking again, get back in better shape. Um, and because my goal was to be sexy at 60, and that's that's not happening. So let's try to lose weight. So I went out and walked yesterday. It was fabulous last night. Wow, the um humidity was gone yesterday. This is in Colombia, all right. And I would also say, if you're watching from the upstate, you know what I'm talking about. Our friends down in from Charleston to Hilton Head, really all the way up from Georgetown to the coast, are giving us the evil eye this morning. They're saying, "Huh, really? Well, it's been hot and humid and rainy here. I get it, and I feel it. But I mean, it was just the difference last night. So I decided just go. It's great walking weather. There's absolutely no excuse. The humidity at one point yesterday afternoon in Columbia, and I forgot what it was on 4 o'clock, maybe 26, 27%. That's ridiculous. In August, that doesn't happen. Shh, don't tell Mother Nature. We'll take that any day when that happens. One more, I think, decent day with the humidity done, and then the folks around the coast will go ha 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 because the humidity is going to increase as moisture returns back, and we get ourselves some showers and storms. This may look like the same map that I showed yesterday. It's not. I promise you that. This was just about an hour ago. This is the current weather setup, and this is a stationary front. And a stationary front is doing what they do best, remaining stationary. Now, stationary fronts, they don't really remain stationary per se. Uh, Basically, the reason we call it stationary because it's pretty much stays in one place, but it does wiggle a little bit from north to south sometimes. But basically, the air mass north and south of the front is usually not that different temperature wise, right? Uh, there is a difference, but it's not dramatic like a cold front. Like the air behind a cold front typically, when you get into spring and fall, is significantly cooler. In the summertime, it's significantly drier behind the front, and perhaps a little cooler at times, but not as significant as it is in fall and spring. But nonetheless, we have high pressure to our north, and this has brought in all this drier air, except for right along the coast here, especially from Charleston to Hilton Head, where it's still muggy, humid, a little bit of sea breeze, and just the slightest spark from that August sun will fire off a shower or thunderstorm. And that's been the case, mostly rain. And that's going to be the case again today. What will happen starting tomorrow, things will change. This will lift towards the front, or the front will lift towards the north, and basically become a quasi warm front. And that will bring on much more moisture, and we'll start to get showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon starting tomorrow, really all the way through probably the weekend, although I don't think the weekend's a washout. And no day will be a washout, mind you. They'll come and go. This will be typical summertime weather for us, and getting to be that sort of last gasp of these summertime thunderstorms. Once we head into late August, things start to wind down here. We certainly have them in September, but boy, by the second week of September, the daily ritual of thunderstorms, because of the summertime atmosphere, pretty much winds down. June, July, August is our wettest months, with June and July being our wettest. August gets a little drier. September gets a little drier, and then October, the bottom falls out, and it's delightful. That's why we have the state fair in October, because you can go out and enjoy it without sweating to death. So the setup is this front remains here today, a little drier air for the upstate, the Midlands, the Piedmont, and maybe a little bit of the PD. But the more east you go towards the coast, all bets are off. Humidity goes up, and right along the coast, that's our best bet for showers and some thunderstorms coming up for today. Really, it's more rain than it is anything else. Let's get to this picture here. Before I get to that, let me show you where we're currently at. This is the current satellite view. Let me make this bigger so you can see it. SpaceX, did you see that this morning? Should have been a really nice view of the spaceship taking off from Florida. You can see the bubbling up of showers and thunderstorms. The front is sort of meandering here. This is just high wispy clouds, little high cirrus clouds. You can tell by how it sort of fans out like that. But nothing to write home about. So it's just sort of a nice morning, sort of granted, it feels great this morning. My thermometer at my house read 63 degrees, 63. You're probably thinking, oh, that's believe me, I calibrate that thing all the time. So, I mean, it's spot on. But it was humid and sort of muggy, but 63 felt great. There's no doubt about that. All right, so let's get to our forecast today. And we're going to start here. I'll take us into Friday. This is this morning at 11 o'clock, relatively quiet. This goes in 3-hour increments here. So 11, 12, 1, 2. Notice showers start to develop along the coast. Some of these showers, and this may be a little underdone, will be pretty heavy. They're not going to move very much, so there could be some flooding issues today from Charleston to Hilton Head, mainly because you've had some days of rain here. You're not catching a break, and I think that's going to be the case again today. Here's 5 o'clock. Notice heavier activity, mostly towards Savannah and Brunswick, but still nonetheless decent amount of rain from Charleston to Hilton Head. Not much here because we're dry, right? The air is just too dry. Humidity's down, dew point's down. The air's not conducive to really producing any rain. And there's 8 o'clock. Things sort of wind down as we get towards the overnight. By 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, this is Wednesday morning now, more rain starts to move in, and this rain, again, can be heavy. I think there could certainly be some flooding issues that we'll have to be concerned about today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, right along the coast because of these days of rain here. All right. This will be also great for the drought situation. That'll be a big help for that. We should have an update, by the way, Thursday on the drought status for the entire state. So here's 8 o'clock Wednesday morning. Notice by 11, we catch a bit of a break. And then by afternoon time, here comes the sea breeze. And by 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, a decent amount of activity starts to pop. So we'll have a lot more moisture for us by Wednesday. So I think that's our better shot at showers and thunderstorms. You'll feel the difference in the afternoon time. Not nearly as, it'll be warm. Like today is going to be warm, Columbia to Greenville, but not oppressively humid. Tomorrow, all bets are off. That changes. The wind shifts. You'll notice the humidity in the air. And it won't, not dealing with the heat index here, but you'll notice the difference big time. Showers and some rumbles of thunder continue about 8, 9 o'clock. Things wind down overnight. Notice by 5 o'clock Thursday morning, still more showers develop. So this is why I am concerned about some flooding risk along the coast over the next couple days. This is 8 o'clock Thursday morning. There's 11. Here's 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 11, 12, 1, 2. Showers and storms start to pop. So Thursday's a decent day. There's Friday. Come on, Tim. There's Thursday at 5 o'clock. Notice the showers and storms sort of rain themselves out, but then continue overnight, right? So we're still dealing with some rain. Let's get into Friday. Here's Friday morning at 5 o'clock in the morning. There's 8. There's 11. There's 2. Right? So widespread rain again. Notice today, nothing. But by Wednesday, it picks up a little bit more. Thursday picks up a little bit more. And then Friday, boom. So each day will have a better chance of rain. My feeling is the front is gone. A touch drier air may start to move in once we get in towards the weekend. So we'll lower the rain chances. Still opportunity of showers and storms. Not a washout. Don't cancel any plans coming up. The last weekend of August is this weekend. Really? I mean, the following week, not next week, but the following week is Labor Day. Crazy. All right. Before we get to the rest of our forecast, let's talk about the tropics, because this is a big brouhaha that people are discussing. First off, we are headed towards the peak of hurricane season, which is September 10th. So we are racing our way towards that. And so far, only three named storms. It's crazy. This little area here is a fish storm. Don't have to worry about that. So don't. If anybody talks about that, because social media is all a buzz. Says Tim, it says don't worry about it. This is a little different. Not to be worried about it, but it's at a position to where we got to watch it. It's several days out. Let's see what the Hurricane Center says about this. I'll read it to you because I know it's hard to read here. Area of low pressure centered a few hundred miles southeast of the Cape Verde Islands is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development, and this system is likely to become a tropical depression during the next 2 or 3 days as it moves westward. And the Hurricane Center is giving this a 70% chance of development. I think that's pretty legit. I think this actually will become Dolly. Dolly. I mean, how can Dolly? What's the first thing you think of? Dolly Parton. Can anything be more sublime and sort of cordial than Dolly Parton? So, I mean, do we have to worry about Dolly Parton? It's not named Dolly Parton, but it will be named Dolly if indeed this forms, and I think it will. Where is it going? I can show you the spaghetti models on this thing are ridiculous. It's all over the road, and it's. I'm even gonna. Here we are. Here is this storm, right? It's 3,000 miles away. A lot's going to happen in the process. One, we're still dealing with wind shear. We're going to be dealing with wind shear from now all the way through fall and winter with this El Nino developing. So what does that mean? That means it's really difficult for these storms to start to form. And when they do form, they're usually, cut off from becoming anything major. Now, the wind shear comes and goes, meaning that sometimes we have stronger wind shear and then it dies down, but we still have wind shear. With that being said, we're going to have to watch where this thing goes, right? If it continues to take this streak here and more of a northwest-west movement, that will perk my interest here. If it does one of these, which it might, right, curves out to sea, which a lot of the models are saying, a lot, not all, are saying that will happen. Then we know nothing. Then it's something for us to check a box off. But until then, we just have to watch this. I do think this has the most potential of development. This one, what do we say? Hurricane Center gives this a 40% chance of development. This one about 70. But we saw earlier, almost in the same location a few weeks ago, an 80% chance of development. And everybody gets all excited that this thing's going to develop in the next storm. And what happens 3 days later? Whoop, it hits that wind shear and it's done. So this is what, the thinking was the wind shear would go away. It didn't. And then it tore the storm apart. And that was the end of that. With this thing's a little further south. So I do think it has time to develop. And then we'll have to see if it gets involved with wind shear, dry air, and the Saharan dust. All those three things are really putting a lid on hurricane development this year. If this continues, this will go in the record books as one of the least active years we've seen. However, yesterday was the anniversary of Hurricane Andrew making landfall in Florida. So again, I know I always say, just takes one, right? Just takes one to cause us concern. So we don't want to let our guard down. Don't allow the social meteorologist out there, who I want you to ignore when they talk about these storms. And wind shear is a problem. Yes, all that is prohibiting storm development. However, you can still have a storm through all of that adversity, be able to get through and form. Again, we've seen. Listen, our biggest tornado outbreaks happen during tropical storms. They don't happen during cold fronts or other weather events, such like in the Midwest. We receive most of our tornadic activity from tropical development. So any tropical situation, tropical depression, tropical storm is worrisome for us, let alone a hurricane. I mean, so again, something for us to keep an eye on. Should we be worried about it? No, you shouldn't be. Do not be worried about anything. When I got you. When it comes to this, when I get worried, I want you to worry. Until then, let's just watch this, see what happens, and we're days away from this thing. Let's see what it does over the next couple of days. I do think it does have the potential to become Dolly. In the meantime, all right. So there's our weather. We talked about that. Let's do this. We'll start in the upstate. One more dry day. That's going to be the case. Notice temperatures here. Greenville 89 today, Spartanburg at 88, in the Piedmont Rock Hills at 89, Asheville about 85. Get relatively dry today, meaning I really don't expect any rain at all. So that's for today. Tomorrow, whoosh, the winds switch to the southwest. It gets more humid. You'll walk outside, you'll feel it, and then you'll see it from the sky. I think we'll have scattered showers and storms. Not everyone's going to get a shower or storm over the next several days, but they'll be hit and miss, right? More typical summertime weather for us for sure. All right, so that's for the upstate. Let's get to the Midlands today. Between 89 and 94, the Weather Service wants to throw in a 20% chance of a shower. Okay. Hey, this time of year, I can't rule it out. I think it's too dry. My feeling is, they say east of I-95, yes, east of I-95. Over the Midlands, highly doubtful. I'll put a rain chance in there, but I'm going to do less than 20%. So if you see a shower, play the lottery. No, I'm kidding. Don't, just giving you the idea here. The odds are less likely that we're going to receive any rain. But I-95 East, different, right? Because that's where most of the moisture is, the humidity is. So yeah, I think that's probably the best bet. But for the Central Midlands, no. One more dry day, I think we can steal that from the upstate for the Midlands. And let's head down towards the Low Country, where they've issued the risk for flash flooding. Here it is from Charleston down to Hilton Head, and a better chance once you get across the Savannah River into Savannah. So this is again this afternoon with these scattered showers and some thunderstorms, and a lot of these storms will just form and just sit and don't move and just drop all this rain. So careful for low-lying areas for possible flooding. River flooding certainly is possibility as well. And of course, if you see an area that's has water, just turn around. It may be an inconvenience, but one, it's better than stalling out your car, hurting yourself, or anything else for that matter. So just be careful for that. So I do think, as we saw with some of these models over the next several days, this is going to be a wet time for the Low Country. So if you have beach plans, like one last gasp of summer retreat here, it's going to be a little dicey. I would say, yeah, just be careful for that, especially when these storms form. The lightning pictures that people have been sending me from the Low Country has just been absolutely spectacular. And it's one thing to watch lightning from the safety of your own home than it is on the beach, right? So when there's a storm or anything, head inside. Don't go outside and take pictures of lightning. It is very dangerous, and it can strike. That's I've said this a million times, but it goes worth repeating. That old saying, something struck out of the blue, or something came out of the blue. That's what lightning is. If you've got a thunderstorm that's here, and I'm here, lightning can strike from 10 miles away. It can be bright sunny skies, crystal blue skies, and this storm here is 10 miles away, and lightning from that storm can reach me 10 miles away. So, again, don't fool with that when it comes to lightning and some of these storms. So, again, that's the biggest risk for any severe weather today is down towards the Low Country. So, again, to recap, relatively dry for the Midlands, the upstate, the Piedmont, and from the, I would say from the PD down towards the coast, a better chance of showers. And then tomorrow, everything switches as the winds pick up to the southwest, and we have a much better shot at showers and storms peppered throughout the state. All right, 3 o'clock this afternoon, we'll get more deep into the tropics. We'll talk about these that area that I showed you that's developing. I'll show you the spaghetti models, even though, I want you to be informed of them. And we'll look and find out what the latest details are on that, because we'll have some new model runs coming up by afternoon time. And we'll look at that a little bit later on today. In the meantime, have yourself a terrific Tuesday, and we'll see you this afternoon.